Hey guys, hope you're doing well. We are going to be doing a solo session today. Recently I saw that the Stanley Parable is back in full swing. This is a game I had watched, I think it was years ago that it came out. I watched like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye play it. And apparently they've started to replay it again, and it's now in a deluxe version. I don't remember a lot of it, if any of it really, and I would like to give it a try now. I have not seen their newest videos. I did not watch them through because I didn't want any spoilers, and I've tried to avoid the game as much as possible on various media platforms. So we are going to jump into that as our single therapy session for today. I remember this being a game where there's a narrator, and you either have the option of following what he says.
This is a story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor at his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-making, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Away we go. Left my office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Aliens, dude. Now, so everybody else here is out in the open, and I was in an office. Well, I guess it was closed up too, so. Can't get back to my office.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
So, I know that, like I said, this is supposed to have two options. Either you follow what the narrator is saying, or you don't. I think for the initial playthrough, what I'll do is I'll just follow what he's saying, see what happens, and if all works out, maybe a second playthrough will be the opposite. It's interesting. Whoa. Why is there like... Maybe it's just a weird hallway for this place. It's kind of like a studio back hallway. Brick wall. Seems out of place. Up there out of place. Ooh, look at that. Just a picture of some leaves with some dew on it. Not too close. Well, it could be the painting style, I guess. Again. That's just not... Some random boxes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Who closed the door? Why is there a window here? There was a room on the other side. Why are there 2 windows here? With like bright lights. I think I was supposed to go to the door on my left. It doesn't that just reek of suspiciousness? When the door closes behind you. And I'm just walking around all da-da-da-da. It's fine. Again. And suddenly they're just locked behind me. There's a whole lot of papers that are all over the floors too, like there's an emergency to leave. These fake windows of light pouring in bright lights.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball out. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header. Throw some bevel on all the text. Hey. Everyone is unique, you most of all. Number of slides on this slide. Slides. Charts of slides. Charts. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please no more charts, please. I'm begging. Stop. Boss appreciation matter. Boss appreciation in worksheets. Circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. So the interpersonal conflicts. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with a Dutch employee, not yourself, but yourself is spelled wrong. Threw me off. Clear skin, dreams for the future, nice. Motionless air, comatose. Tips for not getting fired, talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time. Never give no expectation of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. It just sounds like normal everyday work habits. Big corporate stuff, it seems like. What do people want? Things, money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things, grass, smell things, and money. Not so much grass now. Just a lot of grass. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Make sure you've been talking to Fred about whatever you want to change on the whiteboard. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Right next day's agenda, reflect. Employee 417, 491, 431, 405, 460, and then there's just Jim. Who is Jim? Why does he get a name? Future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. I guess every future becomes yesterday. Get Chris out of the broom closet. There you go, Chris. Always in there. We're not exactly sure what, but don't use the mob. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. watch this door close. Freaking remote control doors here. Is Chris in here? Is his name Chris? Chris? Oh, hey. Chris, you...
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Sir, yes, sir. I don't see the mop. Christmas and the mop. Sorry if his name's not Chris.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, I kind of want to go downstairs. Oh, it's like right down there. Alright, this time. Upstairs. Is that why it was red down there? Is it the same thing? Whoa. Schwanky. Oh. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, that the bosses suffer losses, and that's what the boss chose. Yikes. Stream bathrooms. Look at that toilet paper. Look how high up that toilet paper is. That's pretty extreme. Lightly close the door, you know. Leave it play, it's clear. It's fine. This time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Interesting. So I'm not supposed to know 2845. So I guess that
Stanley
means...
just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, so I don't know the combination he's saying, so I'm gonna go 6, 6, 6, 9.
2845.
Okay, now I assume he wants me to put it in. But I'm not supposed to know it.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Oh. Okay. So far as I'm going through this, I kind of remember it as it's happening. It's like, okay, I remember doing this. Or not doing this, but seeing this. I remember this happening. This is a really weird back area. Again, it's like construction or something. Ooh, looks like it's a fall. I don't know if I trust that. Do I get a flashlight or anything? Oh my god, guys. It's really dark. I don't know where I am. Oh. Found our way out. Alright, well, I guess... There we go.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ooh. It's the freedom of being free of your puppeteering. And to worry if anything's ever
Stanley
coming back.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, I kind of remember this. No going back now. I guess we're just gonna hit the big button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the
this
strength
room.
to find out?
It's like that, oh man, I can't remember, The Matrix. When he goes to that room with the older guy, the architect, is that what it is? I think it was the architect. And he's got all these screens around him by all these people. Turn on the cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What number was I? 427? I think so. I think I'm right there in the middle. All the CCTV footage to being watched nonstop. Under the microscope. I do enjoy this game for the scope being very much like the Truman Show, which is an awesome movie. Great Jim Carrey movie.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Aren't we
Was this
all
the
under
only
somebody's
reason he was
control?
happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to
Oh,
accept him
somebody got
blindly?
fired. If you think about it, if you got debt, you're being controlled by somebody. You're stuck with your job. Gotta pay those debts off.
No. He refused to believe it.
Ah.
He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So, I guess proceed through the open door. Facility power. Control. I can't really read what it says. Hey, buddy. Oh, you're gonna push your way around. Gonna push your way around, huh? Yeah. Yeah, because under control now. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Told you, we're all under control by something. We've had all day to do this, but today is the most convenient time for him. Isn't that right? So, continuing on to the mind controls.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yeah, is that so? Are you back for more? So we will turn out the fire.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
You have to wonder, like, why was he the only one left? At least from this playthrough. Why was he the only one left?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement, beat the game. I thought I remember that, yeah, the first playthrough, you just like follow the instructions and go through it. It's like super fast. Now we are back in our office, I assume. This is just after not receiving any work hour. And second playthrough, I think.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So what we're going to do on this playthrough is we're going to do the opposite of what the narrator says. We are going to create some chaos. I don't think I have a choice but to go to the meeting room. I think that one is pretty much set in stone. Oh. Interesting. Received. Interesting. Can you go back? Oh, he's right over here. Turn that one off. It's probably gonna be a whole lot of nothing, but I'm interested now.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I mean, we're just wasting power here, guys. Turn your machines off if you're not going to be around.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference.
Yeah, I'm trying to conserve some power here.
Did it advance the story in any way?
Things are expensive these days, guys. Really expensive. Okay, seems like that might be it.
When Stanley came to a set of two
Okay,
open
here we
doors,
go.
he entered the door on his left.
No. We're going to take the door on our right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Yeah,
and
it
Stanley
wasn't.
knew it perfectly
Okay,
well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
You can turn your computer off. I have to go there, don't I? Alright, well, we'll go into here.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes,
Could use a cup of joy right
really,
now.
really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Yeah, man, been a long, hard day at work. Everybody else went home. Suppose I should just enjoy a little bit of
At this
downtime.
point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy
Really?
and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh, an entire company left because I have boring
But
personality.
at last, he'd had enough of
Thanks.
the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Oh, you think so? This was the meeting room? No. Creepy. No, I like this door better.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Just your directions, my dude. I'm a great corporate employee. Employee of the month 7 times.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Who's her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Is she cute? I'll drive the forklift. Come on. Come on, I'm free of my restraints of the computer. Let me do something new. Ooh, spooky.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about, so I can't do that. Could be a scam caller. I don't have money for that right now. Oh, can I unplug it?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
I didn't pick up the
Hope for a
phone.
life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just just unplugged the phone?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken.
Stanley's not a real person?
Able to make correct and incorrect choices, and to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example,
Apparently
in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back sack and crack."
I am supposed to be having
Excellent.
a back sack and crack.
Making choices on a regular basis is the
Why is
best
his
part
tongue
to a
inside of
healthy
an alligator's
decision-making
mouth?
process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally,
Probably.
if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Alright, well. Been in this room before, it looks the same. Guess we're going back here. Looks to be is to jump aboard here.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Option here. Looks like we're being forced back to the beginning.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Okay. Well, this is going to force me into the...
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Whoops.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Things are falling apart. Do it again. Okay, looks like it's status quo now. Door's not closed yet. Alright, go into the meeting. Whoa.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why?
Oof.
For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now.
It's called
But what am I
content.
supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
If you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons and you're the game master, you know that your players are never going to follow your story to the T. No matter how much you guide them, they'll never do it. You gotta be able to think on the fly and change things up as you go. I think somebody needs to have a couple lessons with this dude.
I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
If that's the case, where's Stanley now?
That hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You know that's not gonna happen. Sorry, dude.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So is this Groundhog Day now?
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry.
It's just Groundhog Day now.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Okay, we'll go left this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Here we go, dude. Just as you asked. We'll follow it around, get to the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There we go downstairs now. was it downstairs before, right? The executive bathroom's gone.
Inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
No?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Yeah, no. It's the desk.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
What about the story I want to tell? Really
okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what
Stanley
I had to
was
show
mind
you,
control.
then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Hey,
you...
No need for name calling.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
Whoa.
he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to
At the end.
Can you hear me? Is everything alright? Stanley, this is important. The
Can't
story
be.
needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You can't be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, are you there? You listening to this? Stanley, are you there?
Am I Stanley then? You can call me Stanley now.
Time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. It's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
So another restart. Alright, here we go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This is tempting. I'll do this one again.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The
Looking
lounge
good,
was
looking pretty. Yeah,
sublime,
same as
a
always.
work of art.
Same as always.
What was it but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Not that eager.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Pretty much.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Get me.
Now listen carefully, this is
red or blue
important.
pill?
Stanley walked through the red door.
You're telling me red door, so I'm gonna go blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Nope.
Stanley walked through the red
Didn't
door.
understand. Misunderstand.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the
I see a
red
blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Ooh.
You see, there's nothing here.
Spooky.
I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did
Why are you talking
want
about my
to see?
desires?
Vehicles? Skill trees? Work
Yes.
with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far.
All that.
Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Sure.
There we go.
Ooh.
A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
I don't want to. I'm going to.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that?
Especially because I
I
know
guess
it's
it
really
isn't my place to
grumpy.
judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Ooh. Oh, I'm dead last. Friends, this is empty. Ouch. Wow. take that.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I'll give you an extra.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Hey, Seijikins. What? Come on, dude. Like, I know it's not gonna make me do 4 hours, but how long? I got cats fighting me beside me too. What? No, no, no. What? Cat is hating this sound. He's very upset. Oh, I was not paying attention. Whoops.
It's the latter when I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas.
What?
I can't think
You
of
okay?
a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Ah, fascinating.
Oh, what is this?
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is
I
our
can't remember what this is
motivation?
called.
Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from
You're a
behind
forest
your
ranger.
red tower. Perhaps for some sort of twisted
But, I
erotic
mean, yeah,
purpose.
I guess.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Well, I suppose... There's also a podcast that's very similar to this game. I think it's called Tower 4. Maybe it's very similar to what this game is about. This actual game. I can't remember what this actual game is called. What if it's the same creators that made that game?
No, it can't be.
Can't be what?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in
Anywhere I want to go.
Oh, thank heavens we avoided it.
Uh,
We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
put me in a prison?
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Oh no, it's Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around
This
in.
can't be
There isn't
good.
any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
As long as I don't get run over, my dude.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a
Condescending
touchdown
term for
together.
every sport
Yes,
ever.
I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
You see the size of that ball? I'm not running so fast.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked
Not
so
gonna
hard
lie,
on?
it's pretty fun.
Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience.
Well,
I'm going
that's
to try
in.
hard. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
So many balls. I've never played Rocket League. But is there a mode that's quite like this? Where there's just a plethora of balls and people are just going crazy trying to score goals with all
Is
these
this a
balls?
real video game? Well, I
Yeah, it
sure
just
hope
sounds
you're
like
having a
chaos.
good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like
But
me
am I
to set
Stanley? Because you
boundaries
call me
for.
Stanley, then I'm not
Without
Stanley.
rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
Okay, well, I will. Right, where do I go? Guess he just left me here to nothing. Oh, sweet boy. I know that baby was not pleasant, was it? Good boy. Aha!
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley.
Well, don't know what I just did. Oh shit. Where am I? This place is wrecked. 423. Oh. That's different, I think. The whole computer setup. This is just like one monitor in an office. Oh, there it is. That's my office. Whoa. This is definitely different. Looks like security.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Interesting. So do I... Okay, it's loading. And another restart. Phone ringing. What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Let's go.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like.
Why'd you call
I'll give you a
434?
call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Well, why'd you call 434? No narrator? Am I on my own?